substance abuse, domestic violence, and systemic neglect, seen in instances where there is silence and inaction, in brackets, complicity, especially where a minor is involved. Ethical and legal considerations. Ethical and legal aspects of responding to violence are explored in depth, and with the book providing guidance on how to navigate the complexities of law enforcement, patient care, and survival support. All these were mentioned by Professor Victor actually. The text encourages first responders to be mindful of their responsibilities and potential consequences of their actions, both legally and ethically. Prof, if he had told me he was going to mention those cases, I would have said, don't do that. Let everybody who picks this book read it. I tell you, some of you here will shed tears if you read this book, because the book is not fiction. It's someone's work. Someone saw it. The author saw it. He documented it. He was part of it and decided to bring it out for others to see. I'm still wondering where the wickedness in us came from. But I have an idea. You'll hear now. The strength of this book, comprehensive approach. The book provides a holistic approach to responding to violence, covering psychological, social, and practical aspects, making it an excellent resource for first responders in a variety of fields. Practical application. The practical advice and protocols provided throughout the book offers clear, actionable steps for first responders in critical situations. The author, Dr. Eme, the author of this book, A Prism Perspective for a First Responders, demonstrates an exceptional understanding of both the theoretical and practical aspects of violence response. With a deep commitment to improving the lives of both victims and the first responders, because why am I still talking about the victims and the first responders? Sometimes what you see is built right inside your mind and it remains there. It will continue to hurt you. So it's not only the victim that requires treatment. The first responders also require some, no matter how strong he or she is. With a deep commitment to improving the lives of both the victim and the first responders, the author offers a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field. His ability to weave together a multifaceted perspective, combining psychological, social, and procedural elements, showcases his expertise and compassion for those on the front lines of crisis management and the victims as well. What stands out about the author is his clear dedication to providing a comprehensive and trauma-informed approach. This is not just a book about theory. It's a guide rooted in practice, someone who deeply understands the challenges faced by first responders. The author's insight into the emotional and psychological effect of violence on both victims and responders themselves reflects a strong empathy and commitment to improving the overall well-being of the parties involved. Moreover, the author's ability to communicate complex ideas in a clear and sensible manner makes the book an offering both knowledge and inspiration to professionals who may be navigating high-stress, emotionally charged situations. Through this book, the author has created an individual tool that will undoubtedly shape the practice of first responders for the years to come. Trauma-informed focus. The focus on trauma-informed care ensures that respondents understand the importance of empathy and mental awareness when dealing with victims of violence. Now, I was not brought here to not come to say what the author wants. I will now tell you what I think. The drawbacks of this book are this, because I must criticize the book. First, the book is incredibly informative, not fictitious. Its focus on first responders may limit its appeal to those outside of this profession. Non-professionals seeking general information on violence may find the text too technical or narrow in scope. The author take note of that. Then, I will advise, there were some instances where you made mention of, let me just read what I wrote. I will advise that the opinion of the author be reviewed in subsequent editions because of the use of the word culture. Where a crime is committed, that is the use of the word culture where a crime is committed. For instance, a father abused his own daughters, and rather than being punished, probably there are some interventions and the fellow is not punished appropriately, and the use of the word culture, I don't fully agree with that. The case mentioned here, where minors were abused by clerics, incest or otherwise, there is no culture that accepts incest or rape or child abuse. There is no religion that accepts that. A crime is a crime. The problem, however, is poverty and gross ignorance. The problem, there is also breakdown in societal values, societal morality, and of course the judicial system, making many to believe that the world, that they will be pardoned if they show some remorse. Selective pardoning, on the other hand, which is predominant in Nigeria, in our society, has led us to this zoo. The multifaceted Prism perspective can be complex, requiring readers to engage deeply with theoretical concepts. Some readers may find it challenging to apply all the perspectives in real-world scenario without additional guidance or training. Conclusion. Violence against persons. This book is a valuable resource for professionals in the front lines of violence-related emergencies. By combining practical advice with psychological and ethical insights, it enhances the ability of first responders to manage incidents of violence with a thoughtful and holistic approach. This book emphasizes on trauma-informed care and the importance of understanding the broader context of violence, makes it a useful guide for improving both immediate responses and long-term outcome for victims of violence. However, its target audience and somewhat complex framework might make it more suitable for professionals rather than general public. However, the public we have today is the type that is very, very inquisitive. I believe so. And most people really need to peer into the pages of these books to understand what really is happening around all of us. I recommend this book for most of the NGOs that are actually dealing with this kind of cases. I am surprised that many of them were not invited here. I think subsequently you really need to go after them. And also for libraries in schools, such that you are all here. Okay, good, you are welcome. Okay, I recommend this book to libraries in schools, especially the law departments, sociology departments, psychology departments, such that they will have first-hand knowledge of what Dr. Magnus Eme is trying to tell Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Together for Prof. Between the two professors that have reviewed this book, we have almost read the book. But we still need to read because we are talking about more than 15 cases, and we just have heard about 2 cases, and only those 2 we've heard are almost traumatizing. You know, for every violence committed, somewhere, somehow, a child is involved. Is either the child is the recipient, direct recipient of the violence, or he's a witness. So here today we have children from our schools. As we call your school, we want you to indicate you're here. Government Secondary School, Gwarimpa Estate. Let's put our hands together for them. Government Day School, Buari is here. Let's put our hands together for them. REA, Gwarimpa Estate 2. Junior Secondary School, Gwarimpa 1. And Junior Secondary School, Gwarimpa Estate. They are here with their teachers. Thank you for coming. We want to recognize the presence of Mrs. Ivoma Neziani, Mrs. Margaret James, Mr. Martin Mary Falana, all development partners of the chief host, Ruby's Development Foundation, and Barrister Chijoke Ibeku, the principal partner of 3 Met Institute of Mediation, Negotiation, Counseling, and Conciliation. Now we'll ask ourselves, what motivated Dr. Magnus to write this book? He's been a first responder for a long time, so what's changed? We're going to see that depicted by his daughter, Miss Favor Udochu Emme Magnus, and her team, as they present the spark, the purpose, and motivation. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them.
On her bloody face. Her arms wrapped tightly around the child as if to form a shield against the monster. Lumina mother! Somebody help! No! The child, barely old enough to understand, clung to the woman's tattered dress. Eyes wide in innocent terror. The sight and sound of violence. 2 hands was on the young heart. A soft toy lay abandoned on the floor. Its soft foam covered with shards of glass that glistened coldly in the flickering light. A stark reminder of the peace that watches.